A few weeks ago I put out a question on Facebook if anyone had any questions for me to answer on these videos, and I got some really good responses. Hi, I'm Phil Thompson. Thanks for joining me for Phil's Finance Fix. So today's question is from Corey, and he asks, what are the 3 most common mistakes that young people do with money? So before I tackle that question, I'm just going to start, before I get into too much trouble, and define what a young person is. So I'm going to define a young person as between 18 and 25, even though I personally think that my nan is still a young person, and she's like 91 or 92 years old. Sorry, nan. So the first mistake is, often people go from doing part-time work in uni and high school and earning not much money but seem to be able to save quite well. And then as soon as they hit full-time work, I don't know, they get mesmerized by the numbers that are hitting their bank account and they seem to just spend their money. It's like it's an obligation to spend it. While they go from low income to higher income, earning more and suddenly saving less. So how to avoid that is, as soon as you start working full-time, put 20% of your income into a separate high interest savings account and don't even look at it. And if you have to look at it, only once every 3 months, so you're not tempted to spend the money. And the second most common mistake that I see is that young people get themselves into debt, either credit card debt or personal loans, which isn't so bad on its own, except for when you either are just paying the minimum repayments or you are barely making the repayments, or even worse, if you just keep on using the 0 interest balance transfer offers that all the banks are offering, and then so you're just pushing it up, the payments back to a later time. So how do we avoid this? So I could say, just don't get a credit card, don't get a personal loan, but ain't nobody got time for that. So how do we avoid it is, when you want to spend something big, you save up 25%. So if it's a car or an overseas holiday, save up 25%. And then, once you do get the loan for the rest of the amount, put away the same amount that you were saving for. So if you were saving $100 a week for a holiday, as soon as you get the loan, put that $100 a week into the loan so you pay it down as soon as possible. The last mistake that I see, and it's probably the worst mistake, is young people think that they are too young to start investing, which this could not be further from the truth. And before you go off and buy some shares or property, I encourage you to watch 2 more of my videos. How to Become a Millionaire, which talks about how investing at age 20 all the way to age 70 is so much better off than starting when you're old enough at age 45. And the other video is investing or speculating. So it talks about the difference between just putting money into the share market, and if the share market dips, you just take it out again, because that's speculating. Investing is where you put money in and you continually put money in and you're investing for a very long time. So I hope all you young whippersnappers out there have learned something from Uncle Phil's advice, and thanks again to Corey for asking the question. And if you do have any questions of your own, just use the comment section below and I'll do my best to try and answer it. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week. The better it off you'll be. So high saving and you won't have them smashed. Don't know what I'm talking about.